What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Small Property Layouts. It is April 28th here in southern Wisconsin. I brought my wheeler and my disc down basically because I told you guys I was going to disc up these corn plots. We got a little bit of rain last night, so we're going to see what the soil is like. Hopefully it's not too bad. We're going to disc this corn into these plots. All the corn we had last year is going to get disked in, and I'm going to show that to you guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing. But basically we're getting ready for switchgrass, which we will probably plant here in the next 2 weeks. So once I disc this, we're going to let any weed seed and everything grow up here probably for 2 weeks. Then we're going to go in, we're going to put our switchgrass in, our seed, and we're actually going to spray at the same time with glyphosate, so that'll kill anything there. By that time, depending on what the weather does, currently the soil temp is too cold for switch to germinate, but by then it may be warm enough where it'll germinate immediately, which would be a good thing. We're also going to be showing some of the new changes we're going to be doing on the property here food plot wise. We're moving our food down again where it was before. We moved food up last year. That was a mistake. Changed depth of cover, caused some serious issues with daylight movement down low and where most of our stands are for taking of bucks. We did take a good buck off the property, but that was a mistake. Leaving the depth of cover for the bucks to bed more on our property would be a much better move. So that's what we're doing again. That being said, I'm going to change up a couple different types of food that we're going to put on the property. I am actually going to try some beans this year, some Roundup Ready beans. That being said, if the beans get decimated by the deer due to the deer numbers, we will be able to immediately go right in after that with our brassicas that we're going to put in this year. We'll show you guys all of that. I'm also going to use, just like we always do, my buckwheat no-till process on a couple plots. I'm going to change a couple clover plots that are clover currently. I'm going to kill those off because it'll be their third year, and we're going to put brassicas in those. And then the plots that were brassicas last year, that's going to get sprayed again here probably next week, and we're going to put clover in those plots, like the the shocker plot, which is right up above the camera here. I am actually going to use also some Whitetail Habitat Solutions screening in that particular plot, probably only like 10 feet, which would be on the north side, which it'll get the sunlight all day, help that grow up, just to give it a little extra cover. Where our stands are on the east side and the west side of that particular plot, it's an easy kill plot. Does come in there early, we could take them out, and then all the bucks come in there towards the rut, the pre-rut. There's a really good mock scrape set up in there that every big buck on the property always hits. So we'll show that to you guys. Also, stick around for Small Property Layouts. We appreciate each and one of you. If you get a chance, give us a like and a share. If you have a comment, we want to hear your comments too. Just put it right down here in the bottom of the screen. Just put them in the comments. We appreciate that. Let's get things started. Well, so we got the disc up here. We're gonna start here in level 2 on my biggest plot. It's about 2 acres and runs east-west on the property here. You can see it was corn here on the lower level. Didn't do very well here in certain spots, only got about 3 feet high. The deer did actually eat it down, which kind of was a bad thing. But we needed to put some nutrients in the soil also. So that being said, I've got plot start for this year, which will show you guys spraying of all of that. You can also see there's a little green in the plot. That's actually winter rye that we put in here. Springtime currently. It's coming up really well. Obviously gives the deer something to eat. Like I said, this is the second week of turkey here in Wisconsin, which I have, but I'd rather be doing food plots and getting my stuff ready for deer season. Not a huge turkey hunter. So we may try here later next week and Like I said, this lower part will be beans, which will help that switch. It'll be second year switch, and then there'll be 10 feet of first year switch also. So I'll have 20 feet of switchgrass first and second year. We actually use the outside edge just before it drops off down to level 1 here for entrance and exit to one of the stands. It's nice little path that we can get in and out of without being noticed by the deer, as long as we've got the switchgrass up or if there's corn in this edge. So things changing this year, hopefully for the better. Alright guys, so this is the far east side of that particular plot. Right behind me, there's another green plot that'll be corn this year. There's actually a ladder stand right in the pine directly behind the camera. You guys can see the plot here. In the middle, you can see the corn standing where I blew my radiator hose I told you guys about in the last show. So we'll just knock that down with a disc. You can see that the mower kind of knocked it down more than it chopped it up, but it did chop up quite a bit of it. That's a good thing. So we're just going to disc this in. This year is probably going to be corn right here where we've got this corn. Then we're going to do beans below that. And then I'm going to make a clover plot over here in the rye where I did a pan shot. You guys will see a couple trees directly behind there. They're elms, or box elder, sorry, that we're going to be putting a stand in. They'll kind of hold us back off this edge. We've got a ladder right here that I've hunted for the last 3 years, which is great, but it kind of puts us out in the open. Last year, I'll show you a shot where Gladiator, the biggest buck I had on the property, was picking me out from, well, I don't know, about 200 yards, just stared me down for, I don't know, 5 minutes before he decided it was okay to eat. But he seen me in that tree and I wasn't moving, so probably out in the open too much. Big ladder stand. We'll probably put a lock on in over here, climb up one side, then step into the stand. So we'll show that to you guys later. But I'm gonna put a clover plot in here because this has been brassicas for the last couple of years. Put the clover, help put nitrogen back in there, and then beans above that, which will end up being a little bit of brassica in the fall, depending on what the deer do with the beans. So stick around for that. Kind of an experiment. We'll see how that goes. I'm going to get the discing this all up. Probably not going to disc all the rye. I might go and do turnarounds in it, but that'll be about it. We'll spray that off here before we go to plant it, so stick around. I'll show you guys these plots up above here. With switchgrass is what we're going to put in them this year. We'll put some habitat pockets in there with some pollinator blends that I got from Whitetail Habitat Solutions. And that'll help break that up. Hopefully we'll get the does to the bed in there, maybe have fawns in there, which will be nice in the next couple of years. Hold our does down a little bit lower, which leaves our woods in our hillside and our top of our ridge for buck bedding. That's the plan. Stick around. we're getting it done. I'm gonna head over here to the shooting gallery. We'll show you guys that. Do a pan shot up here, show you guys what we got left here on this particular area. And like I said, all this for switchgrass. This here is actually going to be food, but the next 3 are going to be switchgrass. Stick around. Well, you guys can see, just did a pan shot here, showing you what we're going to be doing next. This is what I call the shooting gallery. Straight behind me, that big old pine tree down there is a ladder stand. Mike had a couple encounters with a really nice 140, maybe a little bit better than that 9-pointer and 8-pointer. 2 of them that had come in and out of there. Never did get a shot, but this is too close to the tree line, which prevents the does bedding close to here. They actually bed up further in the wood line, which causes issues with depth of cover. So I'm going to disc all this up. This will end up being switchgrass. The cornfield off here to the right, or right of the camera, that'll be switchgrass, and the cornfield directly behind the camera will be switchgrass. We'll pull this stand here, we call it the G spot. We thought it would be really good come late season. I did hunt it once, but it's a smaller tree. Once the leaves are off, you don't have a lot of cover. It breaks you up a little bit with all the smaller trunks, but ends up they ended up seeing me up in there, and that was an issue. So did not work out the way we expected it. That being said, I'm gonna get started here. All right, well, we got a shooting gallery just up, good enough for what we're gonna do here. We'll come in and plant and spray at the same time here in a couple weeks. We may turn the dirt a little bit more. We'll see how that goes before we do that. I'm assuming once I put the seed down here, the switch is gonna take, especially since I'm gonna kill the rye with glyphosate. Got the corn cobs, or the corn disced in. We're gonna head up to the next plot here, let the wheeler cool off quick. We'll get that plot done, and then we'll head to the west. We have enough over to Dad's plot. Gave away my other mic to my son's girlfriend today. They're filming a movie, and she needed a mic, so she's got my mic. So we're doing what we can with what we got. So anyway, stick around. Show you guys what it looks like when it's all done. Dad's plot. You guys can see the ground blind behind me here. We're probably going to end up moving that down 1 more level. We're actually 2 levels, from level 4 down to level 2. We're going to put on it's a clover plot currently. It's probably going to be brassica this year. And then we're going to put some screening in and screen that in. Probably going to bring the bobcat in here to move that. We'll figure that out a little bit later. Anyway, we got the disc here. I'm going to disc this plot up. This will be the last one for today, and then we are going to cut some trees. So stick around for that. Other than that, side hill plot is complete. This stuff is really loose here, so it didn't take too much. Looks good. We'll just come right in and plant this here in 2 weeks, and then we'll spray whatever happens to come up. If any of the brassicas or anything come up with it, or any of the clovers. So good here, set up here. I've got 1 more little plot to do down at the bottom, Mom's plot. Then we're done with that, and then we're going to do some cutting, some trees. I want to go to the top of the ridge, see what's going on up there too. So. Oh yeah, well, we are done with doing the plots. Got those everything disc that I want to disc. Most of the stuff that I disc today is going to be straight up cover. It's going to be switchgrass, and then we're also using, like down here in Mom's plot and a couple spots up above, we're going to use whitetail habitat solution, Jeff Sturgis screening that he makes. We're going to utilize that and use it for structure. That being said, the disc is good. Blew out the tires on the disc. Looks like I'll have to get three tires, 2 for this and 1 for my sprayer. Kind of hard on equipment sometimes. My little tractor, my Kawasaki Brute, worked out really good today. Worked her hard, but great machine, works great. So don't need huge equipment, guys, to run smaller plots. You start running bigger plots. I mean, I'm running 3-4 acres of plots on this property. It's 72 acres. So like I said, got everything ready for the cover that we're going to be putting in and structure. So switchgrass for cover, hopefully a little bit bedding. There'll also be a pollinator blend from Whitetail Habitat Solutions that we'll be putting some pockets in up there next to the switchgrass, near the switchgrass, to help promote doe bedding. There's also goldenrod all the way around that switchgrass, so it's pockets of switchgrass. Hopefully does and fawns will utilize that for bedding, and then the bucks will be able to bed up above it. The whole deal here is depth of cover, which is where we messed up last year. That was my fault. Still ended up taking a great buck on the property, but the 2 years before that, I think the property was laid out a little bit better, so we're kind of going back to that. Starting to sprinkle here, starting to rain, battery's starting to die, wheeler's tired, I'm a little bit tired. We're going to head out for a day, call that a good day here at the Triple B. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you guys watching Small Property Layouts. If you got any questions or anything, be sure to ask right here in the comments. Please subscribe. Give us a like and a share. We really appreciate that. If you have any suggestions on projects you'd like to see, feel free to throw those in the comments. Also remember to check us out every Saturday on our podcast, The Obsession, right here on YouTube, or you guys can watch it on Amazon Podcast, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify Podcast, iHeartRadio Podcasts. Also remember to subscribe right here on YouTube. Just hit the Reaper in the lower right hand corner. We appreciate it.